The Fight is the 6th episode of the 2nd season of The Office, and there will be spoilers from now as I talk about what happens, but honestly, I don't have that much to say. There's not a lot that I want to talk about. I have very few notes. I just didn't like this episode, and to be fair, I've really enjoyed the last few episodes, so it seems about the right time for there to be one that I didn't really care for, and I'm trying to think if there was anything in this that I liked. And there just wasn't. There were some things that I thought were okay, that I didn't mind, but there wasn't really anything in this that I got any enjoyment out of. The start was okay, because Dwight enters the office, and his desk is missing, and it becomes apparent pretty quickly that Jim has moved his desk. And I don't like pranks, but that's the kind of prank that I can get on board with, as long as Jim helped Dwight to move it back, which I doubt he did. But that kind of thing I can see being mildly entertaining. I did like the fact that Michael was just watching Dwight look for his desk. I feel like in most offices, if you did that in front of the boss would lose their mind because you're taking away from company time. But Michael was just watching things. I did feel like Michael in this episode felt more like Michael from season 1, and I think that's possibly one of the reasons why I didn't care for it. I used to find Michael really insufferable, and as the episodes went on, that kind of lessened. But in this one, there were times when he felt like the older Michael, and I didn't love that. The fight actually refers to a fight between Dwight and Michael. Dwight is a purple belt in karate. In my notes, I wrote that as karaoke. Read into that what you will. And Michael is determined to beat him. Will he win? I guess one could say there is anticipation about who's going to win the fight, but I never felt that. But if somebody were to tell me that they felt the excitement of the fight and wondering who would win, I can get on board with that, but that wasn't my experience. We did have a very brief, awkward moment between Jim and Pam. When Jim lifted Pam into the air. It sounds a bit strange, but it made sense in the scene. And it went on for a couple of seconds too long, and things got awkward between them. Or Pam made things awkward, I guess. Not that I blame her. She was clearly uncomfortable. I don't think she was uncomfortable with Jim lifting her up. I think she was uncomfortable with it being witnessed by other people. So that was awkward, but again, it was fine. It made sense within the context of the episode, but I didn't get very much out of it. And we end the episode with Dwight being promoted from assistant to regional manager to assistant regional manager, and he's happy about that. So I guess everything turned out all right for him. Oh, I can also confirm that the Homer Simpson doll was not a Halloween accessory. In the previous episode, I said that I'd spotted the Homer Simpson, but I wasn't sure if it was part of the Halloween decor. And the Homer Simpson is still in the office. That is something that I enjoy about this show. I love looking in the office for just little small details here and there, because it is quite a vast space. There is quite a lot of clutter. It feels like a pretty typical office environment. And I feel like they're constantly, either I'm just noticing things late, or they're adding new things in. Like, I don't remember seeing the Homer before, but now that I've noticed it, I'm always going to notice it. But I quite like that. I think the environment is very well designed. It's a really nice set. And that definitely comes across in this episode, because we make use of the office space, and then we obviously have the location for the fight. So that wasn't too bad. But Michael was not completely irritating, but definitely more irritating than he has been in recent episodes. And the narrative, I didn't care for it. There wasn't anything in it that interested me. There was nothing with the progression of Pam and Jim that was interesting, because that seems to be going in an interesting direction in general. But in this episode, not so much. But that aside, actually, that's a lie. The one that I did find interesting was when Jim wrote out the email to Pam saying sorry if things were awkward, and then he deleted it. I think mostly I liked that because there was a small element of ASMR there for me. One of my earliest memories of ASMR is watching people and listening to people typing and seeing the words on screen in films and TV shows. Random fact there, but that's maybe more so why I like that. But it was interesting that he decided to delete it, so I don't know. We'll see how things go there, but I didn't care for the episode. I wasn't bored. I didn't think it was terrible. I just didn't really get anything out of it. But I'll quickly move on to the next episode, and I'm looking forward to doing so.